Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Things don't always work out the way we envision them, do they? Rarely, if ever, do my plans work out, at least not the way I'd planned them. When my children were small, I felt called by God to homeschool them. Being a planner, I researched every possible curriculum option. I wanted to be sure my children received the best education I could give them academically. By the time I proposed the homeschooling option to my husband, I had a comprehensive list of curriculum I wanted to use for each grade, all the way through high school. Told you I was a planner. Yes, we made it all the way through high school, and my children received full scholarships to college and are doing well. But did the path I'd planned work out the way that I'd planned it? Not in the least. Every year, that plan changed, sometimes mid-year if something I'd chosen wasn't working. The calling didn't change, just the path to getting there. So I had to be flexible. Back in Ephesus, in Acts 19, it says, Paul purposed in the Spirit when he had passed through Macedonia and Achaia to go to Jerusalem, saying, After I have been there, I must also see Rome. Paul's calling included Rome. His plan was to travel straight there from Jerusalem after his third missionary journey. But God had something else in mind. Rome, yes. Straight there, no. In Jerusalem, Paul was arrested and his life was endangered. As he sat in his cell, he must have wondered, Lord, what about Rome? You wanted me to go there, but I'm stuck here. Acts 23:11 says, The Lord stood by him and said, Be of good cheer, Paul. For as you have testified for me in Jerusalem, so you must also bear witness at Rome. I love how it says the Lord stood by him. He was with Paul even there in that cell. He had a plan, and that was part of his plan. In fact, it was only the beginning. He would bring the gospel to Rome. How this must have encouraged Paul. But couldn't God just as easily have let him go on the journey to Rome as a free man as he planned? Sure, he could have, but this was way better. Not only does Paul get to share his witness with some key leaders of the day, but being stuck in prison and later house arrest, Paul has lots of time on his hands. Normally, Paul would be actively working and preaching. God confines him so that he would have time to write. If God hadn't slowed Paul down by putting him in prison, a good chunk of the New Testament might be missing. Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, and Philemon. He also met and had long periods of time chained to Roman soldiers. I wonder how many of them came to know the Lord through this time Paul had with them. God's plans are not always our plans. In fact, not usually. And often, they're not plans that we would have chosen for ourselves. Like the COVID lockdown, a sickness, the death of a loved one, a financial problem, any obstacle to our plans. But before you think, I didn't sign up for this, read Acts 23:11 again. The Lord stood by him and said, Be of good cheer. Some translations say, Take courage. This might not be as you envisioned, but God's vision isn't limited like yours. It's better. He's got something better for you. He's putting things and people in place right now that will play into the plan that he has for you. That's why Paul, in the prison epistles, encouraged us to give thanks in all things. Because even those things that look bad to us aren't necessarily bad. It's just God preparing us for something better.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.